like right around the turn of the millennium. There were two psychologists named Marty Seligman and Chris Peterson. Marty Seligman ended up being my PhD advisor a couple of years after this, but they decided to come up with the Encyclopedia of Character. And they took all the lists that they could find in history across religious and philosophical traditions, and they looked at what the lists had in common, right? Because obviously there are little differences. And what they concluded is that though there are some differences across history and across culture, there are striking commonalities. And so they came up with a list of 24 strengths. And they have things on there like appreciation of beauty, curiosity, humility, perseverance, things that, again, if you had a blank piece of paper and you just had to list things, like you probably would get close to the list that they came up with. 24 is a lot, Mike. I honestly couldn't name all 24. So I think it might be simpler to think of the categories of these places. Like, are there families? So that is there a smaller number than 24? So there's been a lot of scientific research asking the question, like, are there kind of like natural bundles of character strengths that kind of like go together and are all like kind of pointing to the same thing? And I believe that there are really three natural families of character strengths. And I'm going to call them heart, mind, and will. So let's start with heart. So these are interpersonal character strengths like generosity and kindness, like empathy and compassion, like honesty, because if you're honest, it affects some other person. And if you're dishonest, it also affects other people. These are all character strengths, which I would argue are the most important character strengths. Your strengths of heart are the ones where if you don't have them, it very clearly other people than you suffer. And I think when you talk to someone about someone else, like if I say, hey, Mike, I want you to meet this, high performer, first thing I want to tell you about, they have great character. You probably would spontaneously think of these interpersonal strengths of heart. That's actually, by the way, not what I study. And this is why I want to be humble about what I study. I mean, it's not like I study the most important dimension of character. It's all these other people who study this most important dimension. And I do want to say, when I say this is a natural family, it's like people who are generous tend to be grateful. People who are grateful tend to be honest. People who are honest tend to be like, so when I say it's a family, it's like when you have certain of these character strengths, you tend to have the other ones. And I do think it's all about an orientation toward like other people matter at the heart of all of these, at the heart of all these strengths of heart. So that's one of these families.